Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? How you doing?
I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm
Huh?
thinking how I want to approach the situation, the conversation.
Your approaches, they be taking too long. I could work with you in the street.
I'm straightforward, harder. I think I want to jump right into it a little bit.
Flashlight on the back of your phone.
So
Light on my phone.
I
was checking my blood pressure.
is it good? You good?
No, my shit ain't never good.
I know, right? Especially with the team you got, right? We send you to the roof.
Yeah.
But now, today I want to try and help some people out and help myself out at the same time. More or less, my situation, because I know I ain't the only one going through this situation, about your boundary lines as a step parent and your role as a step parent when you there. Everybody's situation ain't the same, but it's ways to approach it. If we always approach it with emotions, we're gonna come out with the wrong results. So it's good to open up about certain situations because maybe you might have a better way of dealing with it than I have. You're my brother. What you want for your brother, what you want for yourself. And sometimes these situations implode on you and you carry it around in your heart or you carry it around on yourself. And years will go by. If you never fix it, you'll bleed all over somebody else's children in each relationship you go into. Everybody got kids, man. Kids out there.
I ain't trying to bleed over nobody else's kids.
But if we don't handle our situations, like it's people going through psychological problems or people going through things of their own from when they was little. And as you grow up, you don't deal with those, like you be saying, go to therapy and really handle what's going on inside of your heart.
You went through a lot.
I've seen a lot. And I got siblings that went through a lot. And I got friends that went through a lot. But a lot of them.
Don't nobody want to listen.
Don't nobody want to open up about it. Nobody talking about it. So, and then I'm going to say and I want to say I as a representation. I go into relationships with that pride of thinking I know better. And I don't know better. And I think I can handle a situation. And today's kids ain't like yesterday's kids.
No, they definitely have evolved. They've transformed. These things right here, phones, make our kids the most hands-on educational children that we've ever had. There was a time when kids had to really go and pick up a book to study, to learn. Now they can just pick up their phone and ask the phone any question they want. Siri, what's 34 times 5? They get done their homework in 5 seconds. You feel me? They don't have to show the work, right? So,
How about
Siri just Siri,
heard you?
Yeah,
how about Siri? What's
right.
a 304?
Right, I don't know, but 34 times 55.
No, I hope she ain't hear me. Siri ain't hear me.
No, my phone can't hear your voice.
Okay, so now so me and the brother was talking, and the brother was saying to me, as believers. Now I'm only speaking right now as a believer standpoint. That's all I know, right? Is
That's all you know.
If you don't, I mean, I got different perspectives, but it's the only one I accept from me. Like
right.
I can only, God's way is better than my way.
Right.
Always been, always will be. And every time I try to superimpose my own emotion, what I think is right, or what I heard that, but I want to go and do step to the left.
But has God ever put on clothes?
No.
So how is God's way better than your way? If it was God's way, you'd be naked right now.
Left. Well, Allahu Alam. I mean,
right.
Reading is fundamental.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying.
Right. Understand.
The first rule that we
because I think a lot of people get lost when people say that. What do you mean God's way is better than my way? Like,
okay. Yeah.
I never ate.
What I meant by it is the first command that we were given as Muslims, and again, is read.
Read.
To read in depth, know your faith, know what who you calling to and what you calling upon.
How does that correlate with what you want to talk about right now?
Because if we don't read about what a father is supposed to be,
a father,
okay,
a
father,
not a stepfather,
a guardian, a parent, a teacher, a person of leadership position.
Right.
If we don't like have,
so what does it tell you in the book? that a father is supposed to be. That
Well, the first thing
a
you're
leader.
supposed to call to is His Majesty. Teach the child who created him or her,
Right.
so that they'll have that understanding that if something was to happen to me or your mom or whoever, you still have a job to do. You still have a reliance. You still can keep on moving. You don't have to fall apart because you don't have a person there or a parent there. You still, it's plenty of children that grew up like right now. Not to bring it up, the children of Gaza in Palestine. They woke up little children, 4 or 5 years old now. They got no parents, just by themselves. The lone survivor of their whole family. But yet they luckily enough or thankful enough that their parents, from the time they were out of the womb to 7 years old, been teaching them who their creator is. It's all. You ain't got to teach them how to pray. You ain't got to teach them how to do none of the rules and regulations of faith, except that recognize where you came from. It's a big deal. It's a big, huge deal that makes a huge difference in every household across the nation.
Yeah.
It should.
A house blew up.
It should.
How many houses blow up around here?
How many houses are imploded around here? That's the worst.
But an implosion is not a real explosion because you don't see it until they come out and do something in the community.
Implosion is taking your emotional baggage from what's going on in the household to school with you.
Okay.
Like, per se,
This is
finding
just the
your
other
brother's
side.
gun.
I'm just sitting on the other side. I understand exactly where you're coming
Right,
from.
right.
I understand what you're saying. This is just the other side, right? This is what happens when we can't be of the same religion sitting here. Because I agree with you 100%.
I understand.
But you got to have that other side,
Yes,
right?
it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
All right.
It's
I'm just
good to
letting
have
everybody
feedback.
know, right?
Thank you.
Okay.
It's
All
good.
right.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
I welcome any comments, anything like that. I'm always open for where you see.
Comments hurt though.
Yeah.
They hurt you. They don't hurt me.
It don't hurt me either.
Right, okay.
But
All right,
because
all
if
right.
I'm wrong, I want to know where we can go right.
Absolutely.
The object is for us to come together.
Come together to do better.
Inshallah. Yeah. So
Right.
so Iqra or reading is the best thing. So the brother said to me, back to what the brother was saying, if we nip situations from the bud, like as soon as they start, you see a problem,
Right.
the lesson
Squash it.
is you try to change it with your mouth. You
Right.
know you was wrong. We taught you better than that. You
You
sit
can't change
down,
it with your mouth.
change it with your hands,
You can't change it with your hands.
and you gotta hate it in your heart.
You
gotta,
destroy it.
You try. Yeah.
You gotta destroy it.
You gotta expose,
Right.
and I gotta be frank, and I gotta be blunt. You gotta expose the demon where it stands.
Right where it stands.
Because if they can hide, they'll jump into somebody else's
And then
hypocrisy.
do the same thing.
And
Right.
it's everybody else's
Everybody
fault.
else's-
And nothing changes.
Absolutely.
What's the slang?
Right. I don't
Nothing
know.
changes.
If nothing changes
It's
unless
nothing changes.
if nothing changes.
If you
Or
don't change it.
or you can just destroy it. That's where I come from. I don't come from the land of let him go, let him
Spare the
have it. No, because he's gonna go somewhere else.
He's just a
and do the
kid.
same thing over there.
Right.
No, you got to
Right.
destroy
Right.
it.
Right.
And it's not about abusing a child, right? But it's about scaring the living heck out of them.
Let them know why it's wrong.
My
Not
son,
just-
my
Yeah,
son
yeah,
to this
please.
day remembers our wrestling match after school. And we really, that's what he was into. He was
Right,
into
right,
wrestling,
right.
bro. Brought him home, slammed him up against the bed, brought him back, clothesline
Yeah,
him,
yeah,
like
you gonna
jumped
learn.
off the couch onto him. He slept for 2 days after that. It wasn't a bruise on him, it wasn't a mark on him, but he remembered that.
He ain't wrestle no more after
He don't
that.
want to wrestle no
Right,
more.
right.
He was like, Dad,
Don't
you
try
remember
me.
that? That was crazy. I ain't. But that's that, and he was like, you scared me.
He led off with that. He ain't lead off with my nigga.
No,
Oh, yo.
no. He say pops.
What?
You feel me?
You know, you ask the
Like-
kids today, what?
Yeah.
Huh? What? Ignore you, slam, hang up on the parent.
Right.
Outright disrespect. That's because when even the mom, the grandparents, they tell you, you better stop that while they're young because when they grow up,
Boy,
you're going to have to deal with that disrespect.
I deal with that on a daily basis. You better stop her now.
Better
You
nip it
get a
in the
hold
bud.
of her now.
So the brother was telling me, he was saying that it's the imam's fault, it's the leader's fault. Whoever the parent is at home, at the end of the day, if you let it grow to a pimple's head, if you don't stop it, and it's still ringing like crazy in my head because of how right he was. I had to swallow my own but if, what, where, and when. Because he said, it's your fault. And I'm like, how is my fault? He said, because you ain't stopped it from the beginning. You could have stopped it with your mouth. You could have sat him down. Look, I know I ain't your dad. I know I know that that ain't your mom if it's your son and it's a stepmom, but you gotta respect her. You gotta respect the household. You gotta and show them why. Literally, tangibly show them the differences between the two.
But that can't be done unless mom has your back. That can't be done unless mom has your back. That can't be done unless dad has your back. I tell people, when it comes to parenting a child, any weakness that a child sees, they're gonna go after.
Yeah.
Any weakness that a child in anybody, it doesn't necessarily have to be a parent.
Right.
You feel me? But if that's a way out, they're
run
going to
it.
get to that
Right,
way
right.
out. It's like
easier?
water, the easiest way to get out of here. You can have this room could be filled with water, but one little crack, the water going to tell all the other water, "Oh, we out this way." You know what I'm
Correct,
saying? Like,
correct.
so the lowest case of stopping, that's where I'm going, right? So children understand that, and why you ask, do children understand that? Because children want to be corrected.
It should be corrected.
Children, you have an innate thing about you. When I was a kid, man, I broke all the rules because I needed to be set straight. My father did not hesitate with setting me straight, either through his fists or his belt,
Yeah.
or if he felt like I was that tough, go ahead outside and talk that smack outside and see if somebody will knock your head off.
Right, right. And don't come running in here either. Go outside.
I wasn't
lock
like,
the door.
boy.
Come in here crying if you want
no,
to.
he would go
Or
outside
fight
and
me.
stand out there.
I wish I had. I wish I had it.
First fight I ever got into was Breon Buford. Man, God rest his soul, bro. Like, he slammed me up and down.
Hey, man.
6th Street, man. Boy. That's what he did. He was a fighter. I wasn't even allowed outside. I wasn't. I would ask my dad all the time, "Can I go outside?" You go outside, you're gonna end up upstate like the rest of them.
I don't remember taking.
That was the.
Honest,
That
I
was
remember
the.
getting snuck. I remember. I
Then
don't
you
even
took a
talk about
loss.
that.
If
Nah,
you
he
got
snuck me.
snuck, see,
That's not a loss.
whether you got
loss is we squaring up.
Oh, man.
In one on
sneak
one,
you?
and you
Did
beat
you
me.
fall?
And he snuck me. Nah,
Did
I
you fall?
I put my finger on the ground.
You put
When
your finger
when
on the
got
ground.
up,
You got up.
gone.
He was gone. So he punched you, and he could say he
punched
won.
on me. I owed him money. I was wrong. I burnt him.
Oh, well then you ain't get
Burnt
snuck.
him.
You
ain't
knew what
getting
it
that.
was.
That's the East Side model. You get your money right away. I'm sorry, bro. We didn't do that anymore. Anyway, that's it. So I'm gonna get back to the subject. So the brother was telling me, yeah, that's what we used to do. I'm not like that person no more. That's
Yes,
why
you are.
no, wallahi, I'm not.
It's all in you. I see it.
No. I remember how
Yeah, I see
you don't
it.
forget
I seen
that
it
kind of
earlier when I
stuff.
asked you for my black piece. You dig in your pocket. You said, "I ain't
I
do
like
it."
messing with you. I like messing
I ain't
with
do
you.
it.
And you get me riled up, so I give you something back. I gotta give you something back.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, so he was telling me that, no matter how you look at it, even how right you are, if you let something go for so long and it become a problem, it's your fault because you knew better. It's like knowing somebody stealing, and because it ain't your stuff, you don't say nothing to the person, or you beefing with the person, and you don't go with the person and say, "Yo, such and such stealing from me," such, get in his ears so you won't keep getting lost. Lost is like, but because it ain't your thing, that ain't your business, it ain't none of that. How do you know what I mean?
How do you what?
How do you tell him? That's one thing. How do you come to a
tell
person?
who?
Humble the person.
The person that's
somebody
be-
you love.
The person that's being stolen from, or
Okay.
the person that's doing
How
the
do you
stealing?
go to a parent and tell a parent that their child is out of pocket? How do you approach that situation?
What do you
That
mean?
I saw your son or daughter playing with the gun,
I saw your son or daughter playing with a
or
gun.
playing with the pack, found the pack somehow. Because one thing's for sure and two things for certain. Half of the things that's being brought into our households back then and today shouldn't be in our household, under our beds, in our closets. That's how I've seen countless stories across the nation where children
Did you ever
being
bring
losing.
anything in the household that wasn't supposed to come into
Of
a
course I
household?
have. That's
Right.
why I'm bringing
Why-
the subject.
Why did you bring it into that household? Because it was yours.
Because like
Because
I'm
it was
saying,
yours.
No.
Right or wrong?
Because like I'm saying,
Okay.
it wasn't. I didn't have a father figure
Right.
to tell me right
But you have
from
a
wrong.
you had
the
a
way I
mother
was.
in the house, right?
And my mom, she did teach me
All right,
better.
let me
than
take that off of you and let me put it on me.
Inshallah.
I brought my gun in, I brought my drugs in, I brought my weed in, I brought my women in. Everything came in the house with me.
It was allowed to come in.
My mom didn't want to lose me.
Damn,
You understand what I'm saying? My mom didn't want to lose me.
they lost us.
You feel me? My
still
mom,
lost
no, she didn't lose me.
Mentally.
My mother, just like your mother, has loved me long enough to catch me catch myself.
Alhamdulillah. Very well put.
Because that's the only person that can catch you, bro.
Very well put.
We can sit here and say, listen, if a man would have stepped up to you at that moment in time, you probably would have done something to him. Yo, Shake, what you doing, man? Chill out. You would have swung on him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just seeing how quick you are, you would have swung on him. You just sat here and said you ain't never took no losses. So
I don't remember taking
so
a loss.
you
I
go.
took a
I
loss.
remember that ass whooping. He slammed me up and down 6th Street.
I ain't getting none of that.
That ain't happening today though.
Inshallah.
You remember so many things
Yeah.
about who you were. We just forget why we were. So you were that way because no one could check you. If my father was alive, man, I would have never, ever, ever picked up drugs.
God bless him, man.
I would be a doctor right now.
Oh, you doing something?
I
to the
know
effect,
that.
though.
I know that for a fact,
Same
and
high.
I would not care about what's happening in the city of Chester. Not saying that's what I want. I'm telling you, that's what would have happened.
I'm nervous.
I would have went to Malvern Prep. I would have been up there with the preppies. I wouldn't have cared about Chester. I would have graduated and ran as far away as I possibly could.
So and alhamdulillah.
And that's real. I would probably had a white wife. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
like
man.
I'm keeping it funky. Like where my
coulda,
name
shoulda, woulda?
what
The
coulda,
coulda, shoulda, woulda?
what coulda, shoulda, woulda happened to me didn't happen, and a whole lot of other things happened, and it took me down a road that I'm not happy that I went down.
Here's another
I'm
thing.
not, but it made me who I am today.
Alhamdulillah.
Right? It gave me this inclination to come up with a radio station, to care about my community, to be in my community, to serve my community, to listen to my community, to love my community, to care about what's happening in my
Love
community.
you guys.
Right? So it's
Love
not
you, man.
it's not for nothing that I'm here. It wasn't simple, and there are tons, and I'm trying to tell you, I'm not unique in this situation. There are tons of other men in this city that have gone through the same exact thing.
Pain, is
Right.
experience, but we gotta learn how to teach it.
We
I'm
have
gonna
to
say it again. Pain, that whole traumatizing past that all of us might have, people in my hood, people in your hood, that pain is experience, but we gotta learn how to bring it forward. We gotta learn how to teach it to others. If you ain't over it yet,
You have
if you're
to-
still indulging in it, 50, 60 years old, still, tying the bandana thinking you pop, per se.
anybody-
you ain't learning from your lessons. You
Anybody
still in
doing
it.
that has a severe drug addiction, and they need to go seek counseling.
Something like that. Long Island, but pain is an experience that need to be taught, and that's why I wanted to bring this subject today, because a lot of us as parents or as step parents, we need to be made aware of what's going on in our households.
I'm trying to figure out where for me, this is just for me, and I know it's not disrespectful to a stepfather or a stepmother. It's very important for anyone when they're in a relationship and they have a child to keep the connection between the person who created that child with you, because y'all two are the only people that can save that child.
Right.
If something happens to that child, and that child needs a liver, that child needs blood, and mom dies today,
Or you tell the
what
child that such and such is his or her father.
What I'm saying directly,
And that's not really his or her
not
father.
reaching out to everyone else, not reaching out to the blood banks and the liver banks and all those other places,
Okay.
but mom and dad are where that child came from. So mom and dad share in helping that child grow.
Should.
Right? They absolutely should, and that's the only thing they should do.
If we not together, if we separated, and I per se, yes, you need to be made aware of what I'm doing with your child. I got her in this school because she ADD, she can't keep still, this and that thing. But that's all, and the step parent should be there too, and no secrets should be told. Like, it's no secret. You're right about that. Communication should be there.
The step parent.
You need to be known and made aware of.
Someone said they wasn't speaking. Now
Unless
they
it's cool.
speaking, right?
She's a mother.
But what happened was
Go ahead.
the stepfather and the stepmother They are only there to support the father and the mother. They are only there. So when the child gets crazy, because the stepmother allows them to do whatever they want, or the stepmother gives.
Going too far in.
No,
We're
it's
missing
not,
a lot.
No, I'm
We're
not
going
missing.
too far ahead.
I'm not missing anything.
Go ahead. I'm listening to what you're saying.
When you saying the stepfather comes in the house and says, "Yo, clean up your room," nah, that's for the mother to tell the child to do.
Well,
That's for the mother to tell the child to do, right? Because the first thing she gonna say is, "You ain't my dad." Then she gonna pick up the phone. She gonna call
Again.
him, and you can't put your hands on that
again,
child.
that's allowing it to get too far.
No, it's not.
That's allowing it to go ahead. I want to hear your opinion, Mom.
If you are in the household with a parent that is not your child's biological parent, right? Yes, it is important for the other parent that is that has their own place
Right.
and whatever's going on in their house. Yes, y'all responsibility is to make sure that y'all are on the same accord when it comes to raising y'all child.
Okay.
But the other parent that is in the house, who is there financially, who is there emotionally, mentally, and supporting that
Okay.
child,
Okay.
wherever that child is for that period of time, it shouldn't matter all that other stuff. The bigger the village, the better it is to raise a child.
Well, I agree and I
Because-
disagree.
And I
I'm
only
listening.
say that because I don't think that, so when men look at it as it's another man trying to raise or trying
Ego.
to take my spot.
Right.
But
That's
but
an
the
ego
thing
trip.
is,
That's an
and
ego
I
trip.
agree, and I agree that I don't think that other parent should put their hands on the child.
That's different.
I,
Go ahead, I'm listening
I
to you.
agree with that 100% because the other parent is there, is around. Like I wouldn't.
Again, it goes
So I
back.
have a daughter, right?
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be okay with another man or another woman putting their hands on my daughter.
See, we still skipping over a
What
lot.
are we skipping over?
What are we basing? What's the point of having a step parent there?
He is there to assist the
Assist.
mother. That's
But
it.
It's
See?
still. What's
See?
the agenda though?
The
What
agenda is to assist
am I
the
letting
mother.
anything? Am we just letting the child grow up to learn anything on their
No.
own? The
It-
internet teaching you this.
No.
Guess what?
If
Guess
I'm
what?
if you
the
the good
mother
mom,
if the mother is allowing her child to learn that, and you feel as though you got to step up into that, and the mother ain't backing you up,
Step
you look
parent.
like the fucking fool.
well, if for
You
me,
look like the
for
fool.
me,
Oh, stop doing that! You're not
I'ma
going to
tell
say
you,
anything to your kids.
yo, can you
Don't
say
go
something
out.
to your son or daughter because I'm trying to get them not to keep hooky in school or hanging with the wrong, and because I'm not their parent, you should be there. We should have that three-way conversation. If it's on the phone, if we come and sit down. If you got an ego thing on you or not, it's what's right, not who's right. We ain't got to play. We ain't got to play swords.
If you catch them yourself hooky in school and you don't take them back to school, because that's all you got to do.
I'm gonna say something, yeah, but
No, you
still,
don't have to
I'm
say
go-
anything. You catch, they on the street, school hours still up. Man, y'all going to school. Get
How
this
did
car.
it get to
Get
that
in this
point
car.
though? How that's my thing. How did it get to you
because
hooky in
kids are
school?
inquisitive. So
Take care of
kids are
you.
gonna-
I sent my cousin
So
Andre.
you
God
never
rest
hooky
his soul.
school?
Huh?
You never hooky school?
Yeah.
How did it get to that point?
My dad wasn't there.
It doesn't matter. It's kids that have.
I didn't have my mom. I had to work all the time. I'd be a double parent,
so-
right? So I had the freedom of learning from wherever and whoever,
I'm
and I'm not
lost.
blaming my mom for that because she raised me well. Best
No,
she
I'm
could.
lost, right?
Why you say that?
Because I'm trying to figure out where are you at in a step parent situation and the father's there?
I say rephrase.
You're in a step parent situation. That's what you're saying.
Right,
You
right.
have.
What's the role of a step parent?
Where is the father?
If he's dead, why is he dead? What happened to him? That's all
So-
relevant.
So look, I can speak from experience,
Go
right?
ahead.
I've been in my stepson life since he was 3, right?
Okay.
And the co-parenting thing wasn't always 100%, but when it did get to a point where we could actually communicate with each other, if there's an issue that I have with my stepson, I call,
mother.
I address him, and then I call his mom so that we're all on the same accord. Because what happens is
Right.
that I'm correcting you, then he's going back to her and telling her something else.
Are we?
And
go
then
ahead.
so that's the child playing everybody against each other.
Again.
So understanding and being an adult in the situation. So for me, it never took away from me being a step parent because I still put food in his mouth. I still put clothes on his back. I still take care of him. I take him to school. All of those things.
I gotta say what I'm hearing.
I was only in one situation where you could say I played a step parent, and I loved the little boy.
Wow.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And I made sure me and his dad had a conversation. So what's up? Like, look, I don't care about whatever's going on, all that extra stuff. Like, people feel like, you going up to him, you talking to him, and that's weak. Nah,
It's
bro,
not.
that's the best sign of strength you could ever show. The son is that we're working together for you.
Yes,
You feel me?
absolutely.
Or the daughter is that we're working together
Go
for
back to
you.
the beginning.
Like, I don't have no
Woods.
beef with anybody. If I'm done messing with any of the women that I have messed with in my life, we got kids together, and you meet the man that you feel like is going to get you to where you feel like he's going to get you to, and you want to bring him around your kids,
We need to have a conversation.
before you bring him around my kid, I need
I
to
want
meet
to
him.
know who it is.
Now, if
And-
you
and
decide,
where you come from. What
if
you-
you decide to do it backwards,
where it came from.
if you
Yeah,
decide to
shit.
do it backwards, and my child meets him before I meet him,
He
You
did
feel
20
me?
years. He just got home last week.
no, he don't have to do 20 years. He could be a
Just
great
saying.
person. He could be whoever
Whatever
you want him to be.
Right, but I still need
Right.
to study. I need to know who it is.
I just need to meet him.
Mashallah.
So I met him, shook his hand. This is my daughter,
Right.
right?
Right.
This is your house, though. This is the house you're living in right now. So
right,
this
right.
is your house. You're the man of this house.
Right.
If somebody was to break in, I can't get down here fast enough. You're here. If something was to happen to my daughter, I can't get her to the hospital fast enough. You're here.
I said understand.
So respect is that you're here for her, right? And I'm here for her. I'm here for my daughter. You're here for the mother. You make sure the mother has everything she needs and whatever goes on, and she makes sure her daughter eats that way. And you, but if you want to buy her something, you want to be nice, you want to be, that's cool. That's what I'm saying. A step parent is a bonus parent, but you're not a real parent.
yeah, you can be. You can be better than
Only
the parent that
if
you have.
only if
that's
the
missing.
only if the
Step up that much. You can
only
be-
see that's what I'm saying. See that's him.
You ever hear that? You ever hear parents say
No,
that?
I
You
never-
do more for my son than his daddy do for him.
Guess what?
And then you say that, but you
and
shouldn't
guess
say
what?
that in
If
front of
that
the
is-
kids, though.
oh,
Because then
my
they lose
God.
respect. They lose
Oh, you-
respect for the parent.
Oh, you-
but
you love drama.
we getting way off. We getting
No,
way
we not
off.
getting way off. We talking about step parenting.
Yes, true. But I'm looking at it, me more or less,
All right,
a
go ahead.
believer's household and a non-believer's household.
See, so that's what it is. So this is about you raising your child in a Muslim household.
No, a faithful household is no family without God. There's no structure, no family structure without faith. There's no way you're gonna have a clean cut, good a God fearing a household without faith.
So-
If I exclude the remembrance of God, His rule, His law first, then I'm letting anything come into my house. Anybody, anything come into my home, and I ain't checking it. Just like nowadays in some of the synagogues and places of worship, they not checking nothing. They say, "Come as you are." So you got men dressing as women, crazy people,
Abdul,
and they believe.
Back on to the step parent thing. 'Cause
That's- I'm getting into that.
No,
Getting there.
no, no, no,
I'm
you
getting
have-
there.
So listen. So the idea of the show was to talk about step parenting. So what does step parenting mean to you? What is the objective of a step parent to you?
If your real father or real mother is not there, then I should step up and fit the role that's fit accordingly.
So what
Like I can't make up how I want to be your parent and then make you live the way I want you to live. I want to do it accordingly, how it's legislated, so that it works out right. So that when I show you why I'm teaching you right from wrong in a certain manner, I can prove it to you where it says it at. And you on your own if you want to accept it or not. But I know it ain't. You can't look at me. I'm excluding myself. I'm the one teaching you, yeah. But here's where I got it from. This is it's God's law. It's not mine. You can't argue with that. It's no. And if you do argue with that, then I shouldn't be here as a step parent.
so
Not
you're,
my role.
So you're raising your child through the Quran. Is correct.
Through faith.
Through faith.
Through
Okay.
faith.
Through faith. Okay.
Yeah, it's the only way to be. It's since the beginning of time. But people come and it, as it says, when a child is naturally born upon what's right. As soon as you come out the womb, you love your child. You're teaching your child right from wrong from the beginning. It's the parents who come, however they were raised, what they were raised upon, what they going through, whatever it is, they make the child something different. But and then when it's too late, now now God's law is irrelevant. It's a relevant thing. This and that. No, it should be relevant from the beginning, and you won't have these problems in the future.
So-
That's what the brother was saying. It's still your fault, the leader who it is, if you don't nip it from the bud. If you don't deal with it from the door, it grows sometimes 20, 30 years later.
So when did you start leaning on religion?
When honestly,
Honestly.
when I realized how
He
how-
bumped his
how
head
much-
too many times.
when
How
I
old were
realized
you?
how painful I was, how much of a mess I was leaving behind from my own understanding.
So
When I turned around and realized how I hurt people, the way I hurt them, the things I caught, the things I was bringing into the household, I thought I knew better, and I didn't. I swear I thought, but now I can see the effects of it still to this day.
So
My absence in my children's life.
that's what I was gonna. That was my next question. Was how old? How many did you have any kids when you started leaning on faith?
No, not since then.
No. Did you? I'm saying, did you already have kids before you start?
Yeah,
You got
How many
into
did
your
you have?
religion.
I got 3 boys.
3 boys.
So before you got into your religion,
Before I got into my religion, I had my boys, yes, but I was in my addiction. I wasn't as faithful. I wasn't as understanding of.
You wasn't
how
capable
important
of being a
faith
good father,
read.
right?
I wasn't.
So
I was-
that's why you're so strong on. If I'm here and the good father isn't there, or there is no father there, I need to step up into this
I want to.
situation.
so, I know, but you still can't judge the situation by how they were raised, because
We talking about angels and demons.
Mm.
We talking about incest happening in the house. We talking about
That happened?
alcoholic
That happened?
beating on your child,
That
and you don't even know it, and you wondering why they can't smile.
Did that happen?
Huh?
Did that happen? Are
Things
you-
happen. Yes.
No,
To
I'm
me,
not saying things happen. I'm saying did that happen?
What you mean? You don't think it's happening right now as we speak?
I don't
We
know.
sitting here talking about something right
To
now.
you?
To me,
to your kids.
I don't know. I don't know if
Why
something
don't you
happened
know?
to my, because they never came to me and told me, because my kids ain't, my boys ain't, they don't need no stepdad. They grown. They dads themselves now,
but they weren't always grown.
and they never came to me and told me, because I taught them from the beginning. I've been teaching them, my kids, my
How
boys.
old were your kids when you took your shower?
Ricky was 4.
Oh,
He's 30 now.
Yeah, babies. Yeah, baby.
Ricky was 4. I've been teaching them the same thing. God is real. You gotta
26
respect
years.
God. I ain't gonna always be all the time. And I wasn't perfect in doing it, but I made sure that they understand it was something greater than me. Because you got their mom telling them your dad ain't shit. He ain't gonna be this and that, biting your back out, and your kid don't respect you if you got a parent that's not. That's what you're saying. Y'all gotta be on the same page. If you don't think I ain't shit, that means you gotta tell my son I ain't shit. My son love me to death. He don't care about how much money I got, none of that shit. But you tainting his mind so you can be the better parent and camouflage your hypocrisy and the shit that you doing in bars, and every day you got him calling a different nigga uncle. Uncle Sam, Uncle Mike, Uncle Bob, Uncle Jim. Fuck, you ain't my damn uncle. I don't know who you is.
So I have another question.
Beating me, hitting me, punching me all upside my head. I don't even know who you are.
So when she was saying that, were you active in your kid's life?
Huh? Say again?
Were you active in your kid's life when
I was in and out of jail. I was still learning, and man, time is of the essence. Again, why I'm bringing this subject. Right now is even worse. Each second that goes by is a second too late. Like right now, it's things going on in these households, man. That like we try to be naive to it. Like it's stuff going on behind the scenes that nobody's saying nothing about.
But it's
and
learned.
Pain
But
involved in
it's
it.
bad, but it's learned. You gotta. So what happens is hurt people hurt people. Our grandmoms and our grandparents were getting raped and molested when they were kids,
And they was trying
and they
to
were
teach
getting
us.
molested in the cotton field, and then we grew up in an age where whatever goes on in the house stays in the house. So all of that is just repeating itself. It's literally repeating itself generation, and then now you have social media, you have phones, you have all these things where it's right there in your hand
Faster to get to,
where you
yeah.
can see it. So
Right.
now
And
these
it's made
kids are
okay
seeing it because
by our
'cause the thing
politicians.
is- because the thing is, our
What's that guy's name? The island dude.
our daughters And our sons are now sending naked pictures and all these things to each other on these phones.
Yo.
And they're only 9, 10,
And then when
11
they get
years old.
exploited, they go into deep depressions and talk about suicide. And then when they go looking for a parent to go talk to, the parent slapping them and pushing them out the way to go to the bar themselves. And so imagine you being overwhelmed with a situation that you need your parent on, and you gotta go find your parent in the bar drunk. Or when you go to go talk to them, they in bed with a whole different person.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just
what they
saying
do.
as an example. I'm not judging nobody. God forgive me.
I thought we was talking about step
We
parents.
still talking. It is.
No,
but
that's more of a parent situation.
the role of a step parent, are we ready for? Because sometimes you got to step up and be a parent where a parent ain't there.
But if you've ever been a parent before,
Sometimes.
you can gladly be a step parent. But like I tell you, it's not your rule. You can get the house. You can have a house. You can buy the house. But if a child is not raised the way in the religion that you're into,
Faith.
and
All in faith. It ain't.
you could
it
you
ain't.
could call it faith, but would you allow her to go to church on Sunday?
So that's when we go and we sit down and we read
You're
to
gonna-
find out
you're
what's
gonna-
right.
No,
If you
no.
in the church,
See,
I wanna-
it's not
Listen.
about what's. See, some there, and that's the thing, right?
How do you mean?
With religion, right? The book was written, the Bible, the Torah, the Quran. The Quran was the last book written.
Okay.
The Quran uses
Revelation sent.
the Quran uses a lot of the stuff that's written in the Bible. Noah, Abraham,
ahead.
and everything else.
This guy.
Okay.
So if a person wants to read the Bible, you let them read the Bible. Because at some point, the light will shine and they'll figure out where they went wrong. And if they choose to stay there, just that faith. Like it's only one God.
Correct.
As
And
long-
if you're not condemning the Bible as lies, and what's in the Bible is true,
Step parent, right?
and what's in the Bible is true, it's just like a step parent. It's not the original parent, but it's a parent that can step up in the line and teach it.
So as the parent, my child should be smart enough. You got no right to tell me what the
But that's all in the
disrespectful.
respect
They're
of the
gonna tell you
child,
that.
period.
They're gonna
Because
tell
the
you that.
child,
Not all children gonna do that. If
Hold on,
my
stop out.
mom,
Did a child
my mom
tell
ain't
you
raised
that?
me to be like
Did
that.
a child tell you that?
Yeah.
Right. Because she felt like
Kick the Quran through the Quran.
Right.
You don't respect that. You don't respect that book. That's what he told me.
Right.
One child told me
Right.
that. You don't.
Your
Because he
child
didn't know no better.
Your child?
No, it wasn't my child. I was
Right.
trying
No, you don't
No.
try.
to do what I did with my boys
No.
with somebody else's
You never
child.
heard.
It don't work out that
how
way
old was
too
the
well.
child?
Same age my son was when I started. He was
4?
a kid. It was like maybe 6. Long Island. I don't want to lie. I don't want to. I ain't come. I'm just saying. I tried.
So
The thing-
was
the
she?
thing-
We tried.
Was
The
she
thing
in the
is,
religion?
you
Was she
lead-
in?
listen,
She just came in. She was trying.
The thing is,
trying.
right? The thing is, we get so caught up in you doing what I say
Instead
instead
of
of you doing what I do.
That's
So
nice.
we
Actions of
want
attention.
everyone to. I said read that. No.
21
Guess
days.
what?
I
You
just-
ain't paying. You're not paying anyone any mind, and you continue to do what you do. You read your Quran. You're offering prayer.
Right,
you're
trying.
getting up. You're making wudu. You're cleaning yourself.
Setting the
You.
example.
You are the example.
Right.
And then when the people are behind you and they see you, you don't raise your voice. You not yelling. You ain't fussing. You ain't mad. You see a mess, you step right over it. You go over there. It don't even faze him. It's gonna come to a point where they want to be around you because
wanna know. Right,
you just keep
right,
moving.
right.
But if you come in,
So now you got the real parent to come. This is it's still step parent. This real parent come and see the child giving you more respect than they getting because they don't know. They never was a person of faith per se, or they wasn't of faith per se. But now they see you. Now there's a jealousy. I don't want you listening. I don't want you around. I don't want my son around or my daughter around that person. This and that. Ain't nothing wrong with them. It's just an act of jealousy and envy because I should have been doing that. I should have been praying with you. I should have been doing homework with you. I should have been telling you right from wrong. And I haven't been doing that. So now I'm jealous because somebody had to step up and do that for me. It's a pride killer, but we got to be strong enough to know that and humble ourselves and say, you know, I got to give it to you, bro. I got to give it to you, bro. And that's when we come together. And if your son or your daughter see you do that kind of humbling situation, they're going to learn from that. They're going to learn how to humble themselves to truth too. I couldn't do it at the time, but you teaching me how to do it now.
So has
It
that
should
never
grow you.
happened?
Yeah, it happened. Say again?
Has that never happened?
What you mean? That the parent humbled
come to you,
themselves?
the
Yeah,
parent come to you?
I shouts out to parents who got enough heart to say, but you know what, yo, I see you doing a better job than me. Got enough. Even if you don't say it, you still humble yourself and kind of let the situation occur. Let it happen. If you bring in my child to God and truth and understanding where I couldn't do it, then I'm giving you your props. I have to be a man or a woman to give you your props. And maybe it teach me how to humble myself. Maybe I can learn from you too.
This is for me.
Subhanallah.
So many books have been written. So many people are so adamant about their religion, right? For me, it's just like, well, all religion has its bad things. All religion has its people that aren't doing what they should be doing and living the way they should be living.
Me being the first.
But there is a God.
Absolutely.
So if I'm grateful and I'm thankful for him, why wouldn't I be grateful and thankful for whatever the hell you doing over there, for whatever the hell you feel? Because at some point, he woke me up. So he has no other choice but to wake you up. And when you wake up, you'll come to the realization that I need to do more of this, I need to give more of this, I need to do less of this. But until you come to that point, because I know girls that were in church, bro. What? After church, it was on. I know brothers
call them
that
holy rollers.
I know
In the church, it
Call
was
them
on.
holy rollers.
You mean in the church?
in my years,
In the church. it
in
was
my
going on.
early years in Islam, I was praying with an ounce in my pocket,
Imam was just talking about
gun
you
on
brothers
my
coming
hip, gun on my hip, praying. So all of that stuff, we can say I'm holier than thou. I'll never do.
Yeah.
Nah. Every religion has its holes. Every religion has its codes. Every religion has its things that people do to get by. My mom said, "You Muslim, you selling drugs." And I said, "You Christian, you buying it."
And the devil win.
And he still winning. So let's stop blaming each other. Let's stop forcing religion upon our children, right?
And
Let them find it.
Laugh.
Because if it's not something that they find themselves, they will run from it as soon as they're out of your house.
But the thing,
My
I
wife,
disagree.
my wife, Muslim, raised Muslim. I thought I hit the lottery, bro.
yeah, I understand that.
You understand what I'm saying? I thought I hit the lottery, bro. Like, she ain't want that. She was right by. Like, so what you doing? You gotta show me. Like you were born. You was born into this. You was born into this religion, and you're running from it.
Every brother ain't a brother.
Then
Every sister ain't a sister. Every pastor ain't a pastor.
Her father was a brother. Her father was.
Every pastor ain't a pastor.
She really didn't. She thought that everything else that was outside was more attainable and was beautiful and nice. And her words were, "I don't live over there in the sand, so I don't gotta wear all that stuff."
That's crazy.
But it's not what that's about. That's about humility. That's about understanding who you are for me, right? And not for everyone else. But you want everyone else to see what you got. So I understand how you feel. But for me, that's when I did another, because I was cool. That 18, 19, I was cool right there. And then I took another double take, and I took a deep turn, bro. I took a deep turn. I was out there smacking people, talking about, you don't know how many kids I had. I ain't had no kids at all. I was doing all types of crazy stuff.
Money is.
But it was all for the search. It was all for the search of money.
Money is.
And it was all to belong.
Tool of the shaitan.
So when I sit here and I tell you,
ignorance.
as a father who has 7 kids, that they all 7 can have another parent in 3 months, can have a step parent in 3 months. I have to respect, number one, the mother, that we will have an agreement where you bringing somebody around my kids and they're going to be living in the house with them. I get to meet them. I don't get to talk down about who he is, about what he does, about what he has, about what he can bring. I don't get to do that, because your happiness has to mean more to me than what I see. So if you're happy, this is the person you want to be with, this is the person you want to mess with, this is the person you want around, cool, no problem. How you doing, boss? How you feeling? I'm Jean-Pierre. You are Omar Kabir.
studying you,
You're
though.
doing what you're doing. Listen, you see that little girl right there? and I have 6 girls and 1 son. You see that girl right there? That's my daughter. If she ever called me crying on the phone, say you put your hands
Nah,
on
see,
her,
that's different.
know that I'm coming to put my hands on you. Outside of that, as long as she got a smile on her fucking face when I see her, I'm good.
See,
I don't care what you and mom go through. You can be in there, boop, bop, boop, 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 beep. As long as you see my daughter and you ain't, I can't say anything because
Well-
she's not mine anymore. That's not my relationship anymore.
It go to 2 divisions. I can't help but to look at things, the right side and the left side. You can raise your child to be gangster, foolish, 304. If that's the example set majority in the household, then that's what it's going. Only thing gonna come out your house is a menace to societies. And if you,
Not all the time.
Yeah,
'Cause I know you. If you got 3 sons,
alcoholism is genetic.
if you got 3
What you
sons,
mean?
alcoholism is genetic. My dad drunk like a fish, and I don't drink like a fish. I don't drink like a fish.
But it don't mean that it's not genetic. It might skip you and go to your.
Go to who? My
child.
sister don't drink like a fish.
You
Man,
haven't
skip
though?
genetic.
I have
You would hope it didn't skip
in my depression though.
Not
It
an
wasn't
excuse.
just. I'm just saying in my
For me or you?
in my depression, I do get behind a bottle, and I'll stay behind that bottle until I figure out what I'm doing. But it's like I keep telling you until that light kicks on.
Yeah,
If you that drunk in the bottle and the light never kicks on, that's because you enjoy where you're at.
Here's a
but when you
quote.
wake up in the morning and you go to piss and that shit hurt,
Uh-oh.
and you got kidney stones, and you sitting there throwing up on the toilet, you like, I'm done.
And you still do it. Some people still do. Get up and do it
Well,
anyway.
then you're
Even Las Vegas.
Then you're what they call a glutton for punishment.
Well,
And you like to be beat up, and you like to be torn down, and you're looking for excuses to fail, and you love.
they the
to be-
ones that get mad at the step parent that step up and do the job that they didn't do.
Who?
They the ones, them same
Parents?
folks that can't
You shouldn't be in no relationship. with.
fathom the defeat of their alcoholism or DOC.
You shouldn't be in
They're
a
the same ones
relationship with
getting
nobody.
mad.
Hold on. I have
That's
one
what I'm
question.
saying. Are we ready
Go ahead.
for it?
I have one question about
ahead.
this, right? If you're pushing faith into this child, why not start with the person that you're in a relationship with? Why not start there instead of going straight
After
to
the
the child? You should start with the parent because at the end of the day, that's where it starts at. Period.
Oh, but then
So-
the kids get mad. Then the kids will get mad, and then the kids get somebody. You taking my mom away from me. My mom ain't never been
You
into
don't respect
that.
my mom.
No.
You respect this. He
No.
kicked it and threw it across the room.
No. So the thing is, right? So like, let's say I decided to deal with somebody that's Muslim, right?
Okay.
And we're talking about me taking my shahada. I want him to teach me so that we can teach her.
Well, she can
So-
see me be the example, and she'll naturally gravitate towards it.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're
But
correct.
you have to give that. You have to. If the parent isn't in that mind state, then you have to readjust. You have to think about your relationship with her. You shouldn't automatically go straight to the child. You have to go to her first.
Wow.
You have to
Open
start
up
with
a
her.
whole third category.
No, you
Because
didn't.
no,
Yes, you did.
no,
You
it
got,
didn't.
You got believer, right? You got strict believer. Whatever you choose, to each his own as far as religion is concerned. But as far as faith is concerned, it helps. It helps guide the household. All of us should be on the same page. And then you got non-believer, right? Anything goes, this and that. And then you got the hypocritical household, pretending to be a certain thing, pretending to be
But-
that we on it, and everybody pretending. It's the worst one is the hypocritical one. That's the worst one.
That's how
because
you
when I
feel.
really need you to tell me something about God and I'm going through something, I can't bank on you because I watched you look like a thing and you haven't actually been that thing. And now none of us got no answers. And who running the household then?
But then
Talking
you,
about let them gravitate and learn on their
but then
own.
you got to ask yourself another
I
question
was
because if
even done.
you're pushing religion, were y'all practicing celibacy and not while y'all weren't married? Were you married to this person?
Yes. I married
So-
her.
You were married to her
I
when
married
you.
her. And,
Okay.
And I thought I was ready. Yeah, to get specific into the subject now, I'm gonna get to the meat and potatoes. I thought I was ready, and we all think we're ready, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't sure. I was that hypocrite faithful. I was the hypocrite step parent or the hypocrite parent. I thought I knew better. I thought I had it all down packed. I didn't need to read no more. I had it all. I was ready to be, I thought I was self-righteous. And I went into a situation and I made it worse before I made it better. That's why it's no longer in existence. And I don't know how much damage I've done. I repent for it every day, daily. But I don't know how much damage, how much psychological damage, because the real parent died. And he never got a chance to do what I was trying to do. Or what we trying to do. Because there's a lot of people in that same situation.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
You say it's hard. I say.
Are we ready to step up to the plate?
You don't step up into a endless vat of shit. I'm not going to step up to that. There's no reason for me to step up to that. I don't see. If you don't see
right.
a way
I see what you're saying.
to circumvent.
Right. We good. We can talk outside, but I ain't.
You know what? I love you.
Right.
I think I messed up.
That's a man.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I thought we could do a little bit more than we could do, but all you can do is two-step. I need somebody that can salsa. I need to walk around this joint. We need to be able to dance. We need to be able to talk. I need to be able to take you places. You need to be able to see things. I need people that be able to see your kids. If your kids can't behave this way, I'm sorry. I gotta dip. I can't give you, and that's the thing.
Playing
a
with
man
people's
walks
emotions.
into a situation thinking he can provide everything, and guess what? You did not start that family, so those kids are not you, but a man did not start that family, so those kids are not his, and he is not 100% responsible for them. And so then you look at the mom, and the mom looking at you like, you ain't gonna help me with my kids.
Right, I come with a package. You can't have my kids come with me.
I can help.
Come together.
I can help you with your kids. I can love on your kids. But I'm not going to break my back trying to discipline the kids and love you at the same damn time. So
Can't step parent,
You should
baby
already
kids.
you should already have
Baby
that
kids don't
instilled
get-
you
in
should
them.
already have that, a little, at least some of it. And that comes from
Respect.
the father and the mother getting along, not fighting, not yelling, not screaming, not hollering. My three oldest kids, bro, man, they will argue me down, bro. And I love them. And I'm like, all right, okay, cool. I know where I messed up. You feel me? And I tell them that all the time. I'm
helps
sorry.
too.
I know where I messed up. I don't want the same thing for you. Son, here, let me show you how to, give me this banana. Put this joint on. Keep that joint on. Because ain't nobody teach me that. My dad was dead. When I start fucking, my mom bought me these condoms. I'm not
I
playing these
told my
balloons.
son, I sat him down and told him.
Right.
I told him what it was. I never forget that conversation. I told Ricky what it was hitting for.
No.
Because he was starting to get curious. I was my son, and he started, I seen a little sweetness in him a little bit. So I went and pulled him to the side by himself, and I sat him down and I explained to him.
Seen a little sweetness
My
in
first, I started seeing him. He wasn't acting like that east side. I ain't. You a boy, Damon. But you got to nip it in the bud, because if you don't, when they get older, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late. They're gonna be flamboyant by then.
How old was he?
He was a young boy. I just saw. So I thought what I call sweetness. So I sat him down when he was with 13,
Damn.
and I talked to him about my first experience with sex. I explained the whole thing to him in detail. This nigga came back a week later. You was right. But what I was wrong about, I didn't teach him about condoms. And I didn't teach him how to practice safe sex. I just told him. My whole thing was, nigga, you ain't gonna be gay. I ain't got no problem with gay.
So you
I ain't got no problem with that. Everybody's thing.
But
But I'm telling my son, you a man, and I'm gonna teach you how to be a man. My job is to teach you, and I still was in my ignorance. I wasn't in my full zone like I am now. I could have approached that better. I could have explained it to him better. In fact, I probably made it worse, because now he got 4 kids, and he got a situation. He got a situation of his own that he going through it.
And
He's
that's-
strong. He's strong, my son. He's
and
doing
that's-
his thing. He's being a dad now. But had I would have helped and guided him and taught him about hats, he wouldn't be probably in that situation.
Because you were in the one, your only mind state was, he's a little too feminine for me.
Yeah, I was ignorant.
And yes. So and that's a lot of men. A lot of men see their sons or and judge. I mean, at the end of the day, right? Everybody is who they are, and
Yeah,
you
you
know,
see?
you know how.
Yeah, I know. We ain't gonna get into that. I got
exactly.
you. I get to each his own.
Everybody is who they are, and we all have our shortcomings. We all have things that.
So my thing
But-
would be, if
but
everybody
you-
say this saying, right, and if I was Christian, right, per se, what would Jesus do in that situation?
In what
right?
situation?
If he talking to a young man and he see those type of characteristics in a young man, would he just let it go, turn the other cheek, or would he actually do something about it?
But I don't think.
I can't
don't
name a
think
person, a Christian across
I
the
don't
world
think
that would
Je-
say he would walk away from
I
that
don't think
and not
Jesus
say
would
nothing
see
about
those
it.
characteristics.
What do you mean?
Because those are
what he was
characteristics.
sent to do.
Those are characteristics that we brought up, and the characteristic that you're pushing right now was a ought for you when you were coming up. So you're gonna see it. Why that nigga walking like that? Why that nigga holding his hand like that? Why that nigga talking like that? Oh, that nigga think he gay? Oh, all right, not my son. You understand what I'm saying?
Nah,
like,
he knew what manhood was.
if he wasn't like, hey, Dad, you feel me? If he
It's
ain't
hard.
talk to you like that, like that's some real funny. But
No.
if he didn't talk to you like
No.
that, then he wasn't nowhere near it. But you thought,
Faith.
you saw,
No,
Faith has characteristics.
you
But-
thought you saw,
but look what happened though.
Faith got
but you
characteristics.
thought
man.
because he has 4 kids.
As a man and as a woman, Faith has characteristics. The way you handle yourself and the way she handles herself, it shows how much faith and understanding we have.
But Abdul, look at the thing.
I
So
can't
so you were
ignore it.
trying to protect him from one thing,
And I
only
messed it
to create something more. So something more to the point where he could have been an absent father to those 4 kids. Do they all have the same mom? No, exactly. So that means that he slid in her. He slid. My dad
Maybe
told
I
me.
did too.
My dad told me to get in there because it feels like warm apple pie. So I'm gonna go. Oh man, this one is some good apple pie. Oh my God, this one just came out the oven. Oh, this one was in the microwave for a week and then I heated it up and
I
reheated.
feel guilty. I'm smiling because my guilt. I still feel it. To
But
this
that's
day.
what happens though.
I repented from it. He changed.
You don't
I
feel no
helped him.
guilt. He got 4 kids. You don't feel no guilt.
No, I'm
Cause
proud
he
of
carrying
him.
your name.
I'm proud of
You're
him.
proud of him.
Proud of my son. He stepped up to the plate and
Right.
did. He ain't let
What if he
nobody
would've-
do it for him.
What if he would have been gay and would have been a doctor? You wouldn't have been proud of him?
I'm still proud of it, but that to each lakum dinukum, right? To each his own.
No, it's
That's
not-
what you
it's-
choose to do.
No, it's
but
not.
I don't have to feel guilty because I know I taught you the right thing. I tried to teach you the right thing. I tried, and it's nothing that I taught you. Nothing that I taught you, you're doing. Right? Nothing that I taught you, you're doing. You ain't get that from me, is what I'm saying. You didn't. That ain't what he gonna say it as something. Yeah, I know you didn't. I got it from somewhere else. Nobody was in the household to teach me that. In the household that my mom had, my uncle such and such was the one that came in my room when you wasn't there, Dad. You know, and
That's crazy.
How
It's hot
what?
up in this dream. Step
they
parenting.
don't want to talk about that stuff.
Step parenting, right?
You got it from somewhere. God bless you.
From a parent's point of view, from a parent with young children, you got to be able to talk to the mom and dad. You got to be able to have a conversation, right? And if you're not able to have a conversation and you're still yelling, fussing, screaming, and hollering, it's not beneficial for the kids. Take some time apart. But when you bring somebody new around your child, or is in your child's domain, I don't care if you don't feel as though the kid won't ever see him. No. Like, and it's not about the father controlling, because if I got somebody new around my child, I'm I gotta get Jordan tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be da-da-da-da, or I gotta get Taylor tonight. Da-da-da-da.
Get some
You're
homework
gonna
on it.
know
Get some homework
that you need to talk, or I need to bring her past so you can meet her, right? This is who's gonna be around my daughter, right? So I just want you to have that conversation, and you should be able to have that conversation. Don't get mad, don't get upset, don't get jealous, don't start fighting, because that's where we are right now. That's why these kids, they run the household. They telling you where they going to bed. They telling you what they doing. They giving you what, I want this, give me that, do this for
They
me,
don't get it.
They gonna spaz out, they gonna yell, they gonna
Right.
scream, and if they old enough, they gonna tell you about yourself.
Man.
Oh, but when you leave me at my mom's house, so you can go ahead and
Or pass the Dutchie to your child.
All right, I'm done on that.
All right. That's
Anyway,
been
hot topics.
This-
Hot topics. We coming back to it.
I won't never do none of these with you.
Why not, man?
You got to do these by yourself.
I ain't got. I could have had. Yeah, I had
Yeah,
a
you
whole
gotta
bunch
do-
more I wanted to say.
Yeah, I know you do.
I got a whole lot more I want to say and get into, but I'm glad you came because you give me good feedback. The feedback I look for from the audience or from anybody listening. Would you agree or you disagree? I still want to hear where you at with it because we can have open get a hotline going, have open dialogue so
You think
people
these
can.
you think people
Man,
want
listen, I'm standing up and fighting demons. If y'all want to fight, I'm getting up and fighting for you.
not fighting
I'm
no
fighting
demons.
them too.
You
Let's
ain't
have
fighting
it.
no- you ain't fighting
I don't
no-
want to fight my people. I don't want to hate my people. I don't want to disrespect my
That's
people.
what
And
you're
keep
doing.
going. No,
That's
I'm
what
not.
you're doing.
I'm opening up doors. I'm trying to
people
open
don't
up
wanna
doors.
open. People
They
got
need to
skeletons.
open them. They need to open them
Just
because
open all of yours.
here's
What
a quote:
happened today
the
that
worst
made you
pain
wanna
in the
talk
world.
about this?
The worst pain in the
What
world.
happened
I'm gonna
today?
say that. I'll give you a second. The worst pain in the world is to love something when it's too late. That's the worst pain. The worst regret.
But sometimes you gotta fix home before you can fix anything else. So sometimes you gotta fix yourself.
Yeah, I was about to say yourself.
You gotta
not
fix
home.
I got a
yourself.
bad text
Yo,
today.
that door is what is going
yeah.
on?
Yep, Darren DeVoe. That's what he fucking do.
D-Train, y'all. so yeah, what got me on this subject today was I got a bad text, and it opened up a
Oh,
cut.
that was Dave.
Okay, and it opened up a cut from the past. You guys,
Yeah, we.
this is Hot Topics, and thanks a million.
Right.
All right.
How are you guys?